Freaknik was just the same as going to Hugh Hefner's house. Freaknik could possibly be the same as people going to Puffy's house. That don't mean that just because they go into his house that these are the things that's going to take place. It was, so it's
one of those.
It's one of those kind of things.
Did you ever meet or encounter anybody at Freaknik that wasn't well known then, but became well known, that might have been doing some things that, this is before social media in its real true essence, so maybe some folks who didn't get caught out there on camera.
It's a lot of people's mamas, so you'd be like, it's a lot of, what was the next generation?
Oh man,
we was Generation X, they Generation Y, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of kids
I think it is Y.
in Generation Y that came from the Freaknik. Freaknik babies.
Just hearing about it, I never made it to Freaknik.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Man.
I missed out on that. But obviously it was a thing and all the artists would come through here. So just knowing you got signed kind of as it was winding down, right?
Yeah,
so
right on the tail end.
On the tail end.
There was no more fun at the end.
Yeah.
The city wouldn't even let Freaknik come here no more.
Yeah. Tell us about how your deal came about with Bad Boy.
I was doing music in L.A. I lived in L.A. Studio was on Hollywood and Cahuenga. And I used to just go to the studio and work all the time. After I left Atlanta, we went to Los Angeles. And I was working out there. And then one of Puff's friends that happened to be, it was my friend at the time too, he let Puff hear my music. And one day he called me about 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Puff is weird like that. He calls weird hours. He called me about 2, 3 in the morning and said, "Playboy, I want to sign you to the label." I said, "Who?" I said, he said, "Yeah, tomorrow I'll fly you out, and then we can catch up. And then I'm gonna be going." So I flew to New York. Okay, he want to sign me. He said, and then we getting ready to go on tour. At the time, they were on the No Way Out tour. He said, "I want to take you out on tour so you can come see what the life is like." I said, "Okay." So me and my guy, my producer that I took to L.A. with me from Atlanta, we went out. We went on a tour. So we on the tour. And so we like, yo, we need to make some money. How we gonna make some money? So then he'll be like, "Playboy, I got these tickets. These the tickets." Like he'll go and buy the tickets from Ticketmaster, buy the tickets, and then give them to me. And then I'm gonna go out there in front of the stadium before the concert and try to sell the tickets for a little bit more. And then the ones that I didn't sell, I give it back to him. He trade them into Ticketmaster, they give him his money back. So I was like, man, and I was making $5 a ticket. I said, man, I don't want $5.
What do you mean you were only making $5 a ticket?
So if the ticket was $100 and he paid $100 for a ticket, if I sold the ticket for $150, I would make like $5, something. So you
gave him an extra $45?
That's what he was doing. That's what so many artists were doing this. It's when you having a concert.
No,
I get it.
You
get it?
I'm just thinking but Pup, that was the split.
That
going out there standing out front of
the
venue.
Yeah.
And $150, you just got $5?
Yeah, that's why I stopped that one quick.
Yeah. I
quit that one soon. I said, I came back. I said, look, man, I don't think selling tickets is for me.
Did it give you any indication on what the type of deals he might like to do? Did that tell you like, okay, this is how it's going to be working with him?
It didn't really do that. What it did was make me say, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm going to have something else to sell. So then they gave me the backstage passes. He said, I got these back. Now I was selling them for $500 a piece.
There you
so
go.
I have like 5 of them when we first get to some place. I know I'm going to make $2,000 real quick. I sell them tickets. Then all of a sudden, when we used to get off the stage, it was so many different faces that was in the dressing room. He was like, where are all these people coming from? I was like, passes.
Yeah.
So they took the passes from me.
No more for Mark.
No more passes.
Wow.
No more passes.
And so that was where you were making the bulk of the money outside of anything else, obviously, right?
Puffy wasn't even the rich guy he was back then. Remember, in 1995 or so, he just really was getting put on in 1995. So 93, 90, all of that, 89 and all of that. He wasn't someone that you'd be like, oh my God, this Puff. You know,
He wasn't a billionaire.
He wasn't even like a powerful mogul to me at then. He was just somebody. You know, same thing. Well, you know, you had Dallas and them. You be like, well, Dallas and them is my friend.
Yeah.
And they big, just as big as him. Jermaine Dupri's just as big as him.
Yeah.
You know, so you would never look at him and be like, wow, Puff. You'd be like, wow, Jermaine.
Yeah.
You know, wow, Dallas.
You
wow,
would think
Divine.
that of Jermaine at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I want to jump into one of the segments here that is very key and important. It's called Truth and Taste, right? And so we like to break bread with our family here on the Culture Club, and I want to let you get into this meal. If you don't mind.
My, I
All right?
smell it.
Yeah. Like, why don't you go ahead and take the top off of that, Mark? Let's make sure.
Oh, that's a pizza.
Yeah, now that's a Chicago-style deep dish pizza.
Right.
Okay, and I know you from up top, and typically a New York slice is obviously that's a big slice, and it's a great pizza.
It
You know
looks
what I'm
good.
saying? So I want you to, you know, because now listen, it's all veggie, just so you know.
Right.
Okay.
All
just want to make sure
vegetables.
you know what I'm saying.
That's right.
I know you don't eat pork,
Right.
right? But you know, let's let you get into that real quick, and then tell me about your Chicago experience. Obviously, you and Carl Thomas. He's from Chicago, and what has your experience been like traveling through that city? Is that one
Chicago?
of the places? Yeah.
It was a guy we used to know out of Chicago. It was an old head. I can't remember his name. Chicago was a very different place because it was a lot of go-getters. It's real, like, you know, the gangsters came from Chicago.
Real time.
So I got to meet a whole bunch of gangsters from Chicago and Detroit. It was Chicago, Detroit, Midwest. So it was learning the different culture, especially when it came to hip hop in Chicago, like in Detroit. Like Detroit didn't have a style of rap. They might have had Royce the 5'9". There wasn't no Eminem. It was Trick. It was a different style of music, and you know, Detroit was like a place, and same thing with Chicago. You'd be like, I wonder what kind of style of music are they gonna come up with? Because Atlanta, Georgia had the South. We had the South. We had West Coast music, and then we had New York music. But you didn't really hear or see too many artists coming out of the Midwest.
Yeah. Interesting. I know you see your boy Greg with the Rim Shop. He's from Detroit.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Tell us that's Nancy's Pizza. Shout out to them, man. What is it? It's good?
Very. Nancy's.
Okay. Yeah.
Where's this at? I think everybody should go get a piece of this.
Yeah, Nancy's Pizza, man. They got a few locations in the Chicago style. Shout out to the Shy Man as well, man.
Excuse
on
me,
that.
I'm going to have to do twice.
Yeah, do your thing, man. But you know, just understanding what that was in the Midwest is kind of interesting because it's like it's learning. I mean, did you ever come across R. Kelly out there?
No R. Kelly.
Okay.